Hey everyone! How often have you felt a fleeting moment of desire to change something in your life, like starting fitness? It's like a spark, a sudden urge when you think, yes, I need to do this. But then, as time passes, that desire fades, leaving you exactly where you started. Why does this happen? Why is it that our minds are so good at creating dreams, but so bad at turning them into action? Today, we're diving into the psychology behind this paradox, how to turn that spark into real steps. To understand why the desire to start something doesn't translate into action, we need to understand how our brain works. Desire is just the first signal. It's an impulse that comes from the limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for emotions and motivation. But to turn that desire into action, we need to engage the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and behavior control. Here's where the challenge lies. Desire is an emotion. It comes and goes quickly. Our brain is wired to resist change because change takes energy. Even positive change is seen as a threat to stability. Our brain prefers to keep things as they are because it's easier. This is one of the reasons why we don't start working out, even when we know it's good for us. But it's not just about our brain being lazy. There's a deeper reason. We fear change because we fear the unknown. Fitness is a new experience, and even though we know it's beneficial, it requires stepping outside our comfort zone. The fear of failure, the fear of discomfort, the fear that we won't stick to it. All of these fears paralyze us on a subconscious level. Here's the truth. It's not the physical effort we're afraid of, it's the emotional strain that comes with change. It's easier to stay where it's familiar, even if it's not making us happy. That's why it's so hard to turn desire into action. Every time we think about working out, our brain tries to find ways to avoid the unknown. So how do we turn that spark of desire into real steps? The first thing to understand is, don't wait for the desire to get stronger. It won't. Desire is just a fleeting emotion. Real change starts with action, not with waiting for more motivation. But how do we take that first step? One of the most effective strategies is breaking the goal into small, concrete tasks. When we set ourselves up with a huge goal, our brain perceives it as overwhelming. Starting with something simple, like a 5-minute stretch or a short walk, can be the trigger that helps you ignite that inner fire. The key is to start moving, because movement creates momentum. Another important psychological strategy is the power of small wins. Every time you accomplish something, even something small, your brain gets a signal that you are capable of action. This process is called positive reinforcement. Small steps gradually build your confidence and willpower. Here's the key. Don't treat fitness as a massive project to complete, but as a series of small victories. A small victory isn't just about the result of the workout. It's about your decision to get off the couch and start. It's a step forward that creates an emotional lift and encourages further action. Gradually, your brain will start associating fitness not with difficulty, but with a sense of achievement. The next psychological aspect we need to consider is the power of planning. Spontaneous desires fade quickly because they're not backed by a concrete plan. When we don't have a plan, the desire remains just a thought. But once we start planning, our brain takes it as a real task. Here's an important tip. Schedule your workouts just like you would schedule meetings or important tasks. When working out becomes part of your schedule, it stops being an abstract idea and becomes a real part of your day. Plus, planning reduces anxiety because you already know what to do and when. Another crucial aspect is your inner dialogue. What do you say to yourself when you think about working out? Very often it sounds like, I need to work out, but I don't have the energy. Or, I don't enjoy exercising. These thoughts create a negative perception, and our brain automatically starts resisting. Try changing that dialogue. Instead of saying, I have to work out, say to yourself, I choose to take care of myself through movement. It's not a command, it's a conscious choice. When you start seeing fitness not as a duty but as an opportunity, your perception shifts. It gives you a sense of freedom rather than pressure. The final psychological aspect is self-identity. When we think of ourselves as someone who wants to work out, we stay in a state of waiting. We see fitness as something external, something that's not yet part of us. But when we start thinking of ourselves as someone who already works out, our behavior begins to align with this new identity. Ask yourself, what version of myself do I want to create? When you start seeing fitness as part of your identity, it's no longer a struggle. You're no longer trying to start, you're simply living in alignment with the person you want to be. Conscious steps to action. So friends, the desire to work out is just the first step. But turning that desire into action requires understanding how our mind works. Don't wait for motivation. Start with small steps. Create wins for yourself. Plan your time and change your inner dialogue. The key is realizing that fitness isn't a burden, it's a choice to take care of yourself. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you understand what's holding you back and gave you practical steps to start, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now tell me in the comments, what thoughts usually stop you from taking action? I'd love to hear your stories. See you in the next video.